What's up guys, Miticus here, and I am one of your 4 commissioners of the American Pokemon Association, and I am joined by another commissioner, GeneralTarheel. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, YouTube?
We are bringing a special little video, I guess. It's a quarterly update video that is going to kind of go over the standings and our MVP tracker, as we call it, for the league. And that's going to kind of give you, the audience, a little better of an idea of exactly how your favorite coach is standing in their league and in the division as a whole.
And as we are going to kick off with the part of the standings, first off, we do have the Melee Island division. This actually has me as well as Miticus, along with KyleAye and JacubAsAlways, with the Charizards, Greenbay Pikachus, Miami Donphans, and Boston Beedrills. This is a very close division, with myself being the Charizards and JacubAsAlways with Greenbay Pikachus being undefeated at 4-0 with a pretty high differential of 18 and 15. Definitely going to be interesting to see who will get the first L for the division, because it is very close right now, and KyleAye is right behind at 3-1, only taking a loss to Leo or 6-foot Hacks, which is definitely a close battle, and that was an interesting one. And then even you started to get a few wins after you did start off 0-2, right? So
I got a couple under my belt now.
Yeah, that's nice. So it's a really close division. It's going to be interesting as it continues on, and we make our way to the divisional games near the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy looking at Melee right now, and it's so packed. I mean, even with me being at a solid 500 record right now, right at the even mark, it's still anybody's ball game on who's going to make it to the playoffs based on this division. And guys, just so you know, that this is only through week 4, obviously, as you can see, but the playoffs work as follows. So each division will have 2 representatives from their division go to the playoffs. So I just want to make that clear. There's no wild card. It is not the top 8. It is 2 of the top teams from each division that are going to the playoffs.
So as of right now, it would be me and JacubAsAlways that would make it in the playoffs for the Melee division.
So going to the Akala Island, we have the #1 seed in that division being the St. Louis Rampardos, coached by the one and only aDrive, who is he's at 4-0 right now with a 15 differential, has not been defeated. We have right behind him CrimsonCBad of the Detroit Steelwings. He has 3 wins, 1 loss, and a +7 differential. Nothing to laugh at. It's definitely a good record. In 3rd place, we have the Carolina Clefables, who is coached by one of the other commissioners, the 3rd commissioner of the APA, Panther 2, 3-1 on the season with a +5 differential, just behind CrimsonCBad based on their differential. So really they're kind of tied for 2nd, but that differential would put Crimson in the playoffs over Panther. And then in 4th place, kind of sitting like me in the Melee Island division, we have the South Florida Bulus, coached by LynxForte. He is 2-2 and -1 differential.
Now going into the Ula Island division, we do have 6-foot Hacks and the Durham Druddigons leading the league with a nice 3-1 +2 differential. And then it's just all 0 wins from there on out. We have Curt and the Adelaide Absols with 0-4 -11. Me Too Fan Nate and the New York Noibats 0-4 -17. And Elite Four Dan, our last fellow commissioner of the Chelsea Cloysters, 0-4 -18. So kind of unfortunate for the Ula division having a lot of those losses already, but they did face Melee, so as you can see, those wins kind of correspond with the losses that division had to take, which is pretty unfortunate. So hopefully more of those teams have chances of getting more wins, or chances to start off a win streak very soon.
Yeah, and so what's interesting about this is a lot of people have their own thoughts and their own opinions about divisions and playoffs and how playoffs should work. You know, there's one side of the room that says the playoffs should be top 8, and there's the other side of the room that says no, divisions are cool. It kind of makes it interesting. And so I know GeneralTarheel here has a different perspective than myself. I think he believes that it should be top 8 teams. But what I think is really cool here is that Ula Island, 4 weeks in, that division is still anybody's to take. These people, their season isn't over. Typically, if it's top 8 teams, some of these teams that are 0-4 right now, their seasons would practically be over a quarter of the way through the season. And now there's still excitement in that division. They're going to be fighting for that second spot. You know, maybe even that first spot, because Leo, he's 3-1 right now. He's doing well. He's doing better than the others. But there's still potential for them to catch up with there being 8 games left. So I just think that's really interesting. I think it makes the teams who aren't doing so well, I think it gives them motivation and to still have a passion to complete the season and a passion to really put it all in every single week.
Yeah, I can agree that divisions can make it interesting, but I don't want to go into that argument right here as we're just doing a recap video, so you can go ahead and go into Pony Island for the next division.
Alright, so Pony Island, in first place of Pony Island, we have the New York Cosmogs, who is coached by Phantombass. He is 2-2 on the season at an even 0 differential. He won his first game, followed by 2 losses, and then his last game was a win as well. We have the Montreal Toucannadiens in second place, coached by Sleeping Knight 77, with 1 win, 3 losses, and -6 differential. In third place, we have the Seattle Drizzlers. They are coached by DeathyIAm. He picked up his first win against CrimsonCBad. This is his first competitive draft league win, so congratulations to him on that, and especially picking it up against CrimsonCBad. That's pretty impressive. And then he has 3 losses and a -12 differential. In fourth place, we have the New York Ninetails, who is actually a new coach who picked up for Silver Smasher, who actually had to leave the league, unfortunately, but he has some work to do. But in that division, it can definitely be done. He's 0-4 on the season and a -10 differential.
And it is coached by BasykGamer.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, BasykGamer. Or gaming, or gamer. I think it's gamer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My apologies, BasykGamer, but my apologies. But yeah, so that's the standings. So as of right now, the playoff picture would be, GeneralTarheel and JacubAsAlways in the playoffs for Melee Island. So it's kind of interesting for Ulu. It'd be Leo of the Durham Druddigons and then Curt the Buzzwole, just based on differential alone. Even though none of the other teams have won a game, we do base it off differential if it comes down to a tie on the record. Akala Island, when you have aDrive and CrimsonCBad leading that division, and then Pony Island, the New York Cosmogs, and the Montreal Toucannadiens.
So definitely interesting to see how well the teams are doing at this point, or how they can improve for the weeks to come. But as to this point, we are going to see how their Pokemon, or players, I guess you can say, are doing for these first 4 weeks as we move over to the MVP tracker.
Well, let's pause right there. Let's make some predictions here. Let's see if we can predict the future. Just tell me, from Melee Island, how afraid are you of the Pikachus right now? Like, do you think he's
I'm going 12-0.
Oh, you think so? You think you're going 12-0?
Okay.
Totally.
Like 1,000,000%.
You don't think that there's
No, Jacob scares me, dude. He knocked me out of playoffs last year in APA Season 2 in order to move on and win the championship for that. So he's definitely scary. He doesn't have a final game of Victini this time around, luckily, but he's definitely such a scary opponent. He's a very strong battler, so it will be interesting to see which one comes out top. And even then, KyleAye is still doing amazing. It's just he just took an L to 6-foot hacks and the Durham Druddigons. Like, I mean, he's an amazing battler, so it's not like it's that much of an unfortunate loss. And then even you are starting to get some wins, so it's just an entirely close division.
Right. And let's take our division out then, because I guess it's not really fair to kind of judge ourselves on the division. But so let's look at Akala Island. Who do you feel like is going to come out with the top 2 seeds in that division at the end of the season?
Well, I really do feel like Dan or aDrive is doing very well with his roster that he has right now, as he's doing pretty well with Celesteela and Mimikyu and Mega Houndoom and stuff like that. So he's doing pretty well with the team. Oh yeah, no, that Mega Houndoom and Sun is absolutely ridiculous, as he showed in Week 1 versus the Chelsea Cloysters and whatnot. But as for the number 2 spot, I really do see my boy Panther 2 coming back with Carolina Clefables, trying to surpass CrimsonCBad. Panther would actually have had a better differential if he didn't mess up his Lanoon belly drum in his week first Phantombass. So that's kind of unfortunate right there.
The odd Lanoon.
Yeah, so I really hope to see Panther kind of pull it back a little bit more after that unfortunate loss. But once again, just like Kyle, it was only to the Durham Druddigons and whatnot. And so Lynx did start off 2-0, and he took 2 unfortunate losses, so hopefully Lynx can get back on track with some W's.
Right, exactly. And then moving to Ula Ula, who's going to be that second team that actually starts getting W's on the board to compete with Leo?
In my opinion, it would probably be Curt. I do want to pull from my boy Dan, and I love YouTube fan Nate as well, but I know Curt can pull through. He is a solid Kieran Black, or pretty decent Kieran Black Mega Guard team, so hopefully he can come back with that. I know Dan's looking forward to some transactions soon enough for his team, as well as YouTube fan Nate. So maybe the new teams will work out for them, and then they'll start getting wins with that, and maybe someone will claim a very solid second place position soon enough.
Right, exactly, yeah. So, and then Pony Island, the Cosmogs have, not a great lead on the first seed, but they are leading that division, as we said prior. But that second seed, who's going to take that?
I feel like Kyle, or the Montreal Toucannadiens, is a very solid position as of right now. Even though Tyler, or DeathyIAm, does have that 1-3 like same record as him, he does unfortunately have a -12 differential.
And then you got the experience.
He's getting the experience now, so that is helping him. But he did unfortunately receive a 6-0 loss against the St. Louis Rampardos, so that really hindered him a little bit on differential. But as long as he can start making the climb back, he'll be fine. And BasykGamer has to come back from starting with an unfortunate, no-win record that he took over from the Floridian Typhlosions and whatnot.
Right, yeah, exactly. And, it's going to be interesting to see what BasykGamer can do with the team. I know that the roster probably will change a little bit, but I think, my opinion, I kind of see BasykGamer, just from what I've heard, what I've seen, I think he's going to end up really, really competing for that number 2 spot, and maybe even putting enough work in to take over that number 1. I know that's a big prediction there, but I really think that he's going to start putting the work in.
Yeah, Panther said he was a solid battler when he faced him for week 4. He was on the back foot for the beginning of the battle versus him.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But as GeneralTarheel said prior, we are going to move over into our MVP tracker, and this is what I know a lot of the coaches are excited to see every week after their battles are done. They're excited to see what Pokemon they, on their roster is moving up in the rankings, and I'll let you start this off, GeneralTarheel.
Alright, first of all, I would just like to explain the MVP tracker. Of course, you do, most of you are probably familiar with any of your leagues, just having the very stereotypical games played, how many times you've brought the Pokemon to the amount of games so far in the weeks, as well as the kill and death ratio, how many kills they've gotten, of course, whether that's direct or indirect, as well as the deaths, whether that be indirect or direct. But in the APA, we do have the trophy system, which is basically you get a certain amount of trophies based off the kill you get. For example, if it is a Mega of any tier, you get 6 trophies for getting that kill. If it is a Tier 1, you get 5 trophies. Tier 2, 4 trophies. Tier 3, 3 trophies. Tier 4, 2 trophies. And Tier 5, 1 trophy. And basically, it just allows us to have a different perspective besides just the normal KD ratio for Pokemon.
Right, exactly. So strength of kill is what it's evaluating on that, because if you kill a Mega, it's not going to be the same as killing a Tier 5. That's why they're structured differently, and so what we try to do is we try to value that differently, and not just go solely off the amount of kills that Pokemon gets.
Yeah, it's just always nice to have a few ways that makes the American Pokemon Association different than a few other leagues that you might be seeing out there. Yeah. So, as we do get into the top MVPs, we first off have Zoroark with the South Florida Bulus, coached by LynxForte. Unfortunately, it hasn't done much recently, but it got so many kills in the first 2 weeks, as I'm pretty sure all 9 of those kills are just from the first 2 weeks, not getting any week 3, I believe he brought it. Maybe it was week 4, first, third game. But 39 trophies is absolutely ridiculous. We were afraid he was going to start breaking records, but if he can pick that back up, Zoroark can definitely still do it. I mean, it's averaging 13 trophies per battle, which is definitely a lot. And he has proven that he can put a lot of work for it. It probably would have gotten more kills versus the Montreal Toucannadiens if he wasn't greedy. I believe he tried to get another SD or something of the sort versus him and whatnot. But moving into second place, we do have Latios with the Detroit Steelwings, proven to be a nice threat for CrimsonCBad, rocking a 8-2 kill-death ratio with 32 trophies. Latios, we know, dropping Draco's doing a bunch of damage with devastating Drake as a Z move, absolutely picking up kills like it's nothing. He has used Calm Mind Latios. I believe he brought that for week 1, did a lot of damage with that, stuff like that. Latios just being one of the top tier 1s, putting in a lot of work for Crimson. And then next up, we do have the Miami Donphans, coached by KyleAye, with Hawlucha being their kill leader. Brought for all 4 games, does have a 8-1 KD ratio, which is very nice. Hawlucha, of course, pairing very well with Tapu Koko with the Electric Seed, getting that Emerden boost, being a very threatening sweeper with 31 trophies. I'm definitely expecting this Pokemon to get a lot of kills per game whenever it's brought, in my opinion, a minimum of 2, because it takes a lot to stop Hawlucha once it gets up a sweep, unless you have an amazing counter. And then we do have Como with the St. Louis Rampardos, of course, coached by aDrive, with 3 games played, a 8-1 KD with 31 trophies. Definitely being a threat, being like D-Dance and whatnot. Very scary. It did pick up majority of the kills versus DeathyIAm, the Seattle Drizzlers, getting a 6-0 versus him, putting in a lot of work right there. And then for the number 5 spot, we do have myself with the Charizards with Lando T, having 4 games played with 8 kills and no deaths, which is very beautiful to me, and 30 trophies. Trying to keep this man not to die and get as many kills as I can. It did get 6 kills week 1, so it's kind of not been doing too much work from there on out, but I have been using it as more of a support Lando T for the past few weeks. So hopefully I can bring more of an offensive soon and pick up those kills with it.
Yeah, definitely a cool little list there, top 5, a lot of big threats. But, you know, out of the top 5, it's interesting to see Komodo there, you know, just because it did get some buffs going into this new season or this new generation or half generation of Pokemon. Definitely, I don't think we would have seen Komodo doing so well, you know, in the Sun and Moon era as it is in the Ultra Sun and Moon era. But and then another surprise, well, not really surprising one. I mean, Hawlucha used right is so terrifying.
No, I'm not surprised by Hawlucha at all being up there.
Right. Well, I guess it's a tier 2. So yeah, I just look at Hawlucha sometimes and I'm like, that thing doesn't look that scary, and then like it clicks high jump kick and I die. So sometimes I forget about that. But moving on to 6th place, we have the Greenbay Pikachus and Zygarde 50%. Pretty scary mon. Can Dragon Dance. Can hit anything with 1,000 arrows. Doesn't matter what it is. It's gonna hurt. We have in 7th place another mon from the Charlotte Charizards. We have Greninja. Yeah. We have Greninja who is kind of interesting as well. I wouldn't see, you know, a typical normal Greninja without its protein ability being at the top. But you know,
a monster.
Yeah, it's turned out to be really surprising, and I'm guessing you're enjoying using it.
Oh, I love it so much. Its coverage is absolutely insane, and even though it only has like 103 special attack and 90-something attack, it can do work with like a mix set and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And then a second mon by the Green Bay Pikachus as well with the Zelf, with 3 games played and 6 kills, no deaths. So 2 mons on this list have not been killed yet. And then in 9th place, we have the Toucannadiens representing with their Necrozma. 4 games played, 7 kills, and 3 deaths. And we're looking at 25 trophies for him. And in 10th place, we have the New York Ninetails. Is that right? New York?
Yep, New York Ninetails.
That eye threw me off a little bit. But yeah, the New York Ninetails with Garchomp. 4 games played, 6 kills, 3 deaths, and 24 trophies.
Now, out of these top 10, what do you expect to really skyrocket over the next few games, or you expect to, as well as you expect to not grow as much from here on out?
Yeah, so I'm kind of expecting Kartana. Just so y'all know, I got Kartana on my team, and I'm hoping he gets on the list. I'm really trying, but he hasn't made it there quite yet. But no, in all seriousness, with the list that we have right now, I do expect Zoroark to fall fairly drastically as the season goes on. Zoroark is really, really good, but I don't think he has the potential to maintain that top spot with threats below him, such as Lando T and Latios, Hawlucha, and how aDrive is using Komodo. That thing is going to be really, it's going to be tough for anything to keep the top spot with that thing putting in the work like it is. But besides that, I kind of think we'll see a Zelf drop off the list eventually.
I can agree with that.
And We'll see how Greninja goes. I think if you use it correctly, it can maintain its position, but we'll have to kind of see. It is lacking a little bit on the the offensive side, but it's got a lot of speed, so it can revenge kill.
Yeah, man, it puts in work. Like, you underestimated it. Like, it doesn't have that much special attack, but it puts in work. I promise you.
Well, like I said, the thing is, with the special attack that it does have and the speed that it has, it can definitely come in and revenge kill with its coverage moves. So that's going to really help get its kills and its trophies up.
Yeah, one thing that also amazes me about the top 10 is Lander T. I'm not just saying it because it's my mon, but I'm not surprised that mon would kind of go like not being killed or whatnot, because it is just one of the best mons in Draft League format. But as Zelf, I'm really surprised that Jacob has kept that from dying. More so because as Zelf is just to weaken a team, maybe even be a suicide lead for rocks and stuff like that.
Right.
So the fact that thing hasn't like died or fainted yet, that's actually kind of amazing.
Well, and that goes a lot into his record as well. He's undefeated.
Oh yeah. The 2 undefeated teams have the Pokemon that haven't died yet. Yeah, that's something to point out right there. And then Kyle with his Necrozma, I do expect him to bring that just about every week, being a set-up offensive set. So we're just kind of seeing if he can continue doing that and maybe get a sweep one week, because otherwise he won't be getting the kills he should, because as you can see, his Necrozma has died 3 times, which I'm assuming is the 3 times he's lost. So if he can get up a few sweeps with Necrozma, he'll definitely put in the work with it.
Yeah, and I can definitely see Garchomp climbing the rankings too, depending on how BasykGamer uses it. Because Garchomp is just terrifying.
Oh, it's an amazing mon. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crippled by that ×4 ice coverage weakness, but good lord, man, that thing it's so nasty once it gets up a Dragon Dance. And I'm sure he has it as a Z user. I can't really recall, but
yeah, Z user.
It's nasty. It's a nasty mon.
If you don't have Z Garchomp, then you don't know how to use Garchomp. It's that simple.
That's true. That's true. Well, all right, guys. Well, that kind of wraps up everything. I think this video ran a little bit longer than we expected, but hopefully we were able to go into some detail, give you a better picture of exactly how the league is standing going into week 5 now. But sometimes it's a little difficult when you're watching the videos, knowing exactly what's going on. You're not in our Discord server. You're not communicating with us all the time. So it's good to have something out there that you can visually see. And kind of see exactly how your coach and their roster is doing.
So you could definitely expect another update around this time. Around, I guess we're just doing week 8 from this point. We're
gonna really try hard to get a video up right after week 8, so right before week 9 drops. And hopefully we'll see some improvements with Kartana on this list. I'm just saying, guys.
Or you mean every coach in general, because you don't want to just focus on yourself, right? Like, it's all about everyone.
Meh. Come on, Kartana. We can do it.
Yeah, but speaking of all the coaches, make sure to check them all out in the description, of course. Make sure to check out their battles if you haven't yet, to see how well these Pokemon in the MVP tracker have actually been doing in the battles and how they picked up their kills, as well as to see some of the wins that these coaches have in their records and whatnot.
Definitely. And like you said, all the information, every bit of it's going to be in that description below. That is going to be your resource to find all these great coaches, their channels, their Twitters, their YouTubes, their addresses for their home, all that good stuff is going to be in the description below. You can go stalk them, do whatever you want. It's okay.
You can take their credit card number, like shop online. Like, it's all fun.
Yeah, I haven't got their socials yet, but I'll have that down below as soon as I can, guys.
I think we got like 3/4 of them. Right?
Yeah, we're almost there. Getting close.
All right, sweet.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hopefully, I can't talk. Hopefully you enjoyed this and it was informative for you. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you guys.
Peace.